Hey everybody, it's Alyssa. Welcome back to my channel. I'm wearing the same outfit I wore in my last video because I'm recording it on the same day, so don't come for me. I just didn't feel like changing my clothes for a video. Today I am doing a video on the books I read in January and February because I didn't really read enough each month to do separate videos, so I'm just combining them into one video together. In the books of January and February, I read only 7 books, which is actually pretty good for me, I would say, but to other people, they could read 7 books easily in a month. So I just wanted to show you guys the books that I read, my opinions on them, and if I recommend you reading them as well. And a lot of you guys have been commenting asking what books I recommend for people who have never really gotten into reading before, and I will try to give a good enough summary of each book, so if it sounds interesting to you, then it's probably something that you could pick up and try. So the first book I finished in 2019 was Fangirl by Rainbow Rowell. I rated it 4 stars. Now that I think about it, I feel like I should change my rating to 3 stars just because I feel like this book is really overhyped, and I feel like it's literally on every booktuber's shelves, not everyone, but like I always see it on bookshelves, and I've heard so many good things about it, and it wasn't bad, but it was also really boring. I didn't feel like there was much substance to the story at all. Like the only thing I got from it is that it's basically about this college girl who's very introverted. She likes to stay home and write fan fiction. She's the author of a really famous fan fiction online, and I thought it would relate really well to me because I love fan fiction. I wouldn't say my love of reading started from fan fiction, but I started binge reading a lot when it came to fan fiction back in the day. I related a lot to the main character, but she was just so... Kath is just very... I don't know, I didn't really like her as a character too much. I feel like she complained. I feel like she didn't have a very open mind for a lot of things, and I don't know, that just kind of bothered me a little bit, how much she liked to complain about her life, but at the same time, that's just her personality, so she was supposed to be written that way, so that really bothered me a lot. I feel like the ending of the book was kind of lame. I feel like it didn't end very well. I felt like it ended where it should have another book, and I've heard that there's gonna be maybe another book to this, but probably not. So I don't know, I feel like I should change my rating to 3 stars, but it was good. It's a nice relaxing read, but I did get really bored with it. Next, I read Clockwork Prince by Cassandra Clare. I rated this 4 stars. It was a very heartbreaking book. That's the main word that I can remember from it. There's not much action in this book, but it was based a lot on character development, which is good sometimes for books, is that I like having backstories and knowing things about the characters, and there was a lot of that in this book. And I used to ship Tessa and Will from the first book, and now I really ship Jim and Tessa, so I don't know who I love more. I love the boys in this book so much. Like, I just really love them, and I don't know who I ship Tessa with. Like, The Infernal Devices has always been really good. I read this really fast, and this is a pretty big book. It's really good. Next, I read the first book to the Vampire Diaries. This is The Awakening in the Struggle. This is also the first book that I ever annotated, so that's pretty cool, I guess. This book, I rated it 3 stars. I feel like I should have rated it 2. I'm always really too nice when it comes to reviewing books. As you guys know, I say in every single video, I love the Vampire Diaries TV show so much, but there wasn't much depth to these characters at all. They fell in love immediately, which I feel like in the TV show they at least gave them like being together and hanging out and like showing them developing feelings for each other. In the book, it's literally like they have one conversation and they're in love. But the physical character descriptions in the book is way different than the TV show, and I want to do a whole video on the difference between the book and the TV show, and I'm thinking about doing it. There's just a lot of differences. The story was very fast, I guess. The love story was very fast. Damon in the book is like super evil, but he's like also attracted to this like really boring main character, and I don't know. I don't like Elena in the TV series either, but I really don't like her in the books more. So those were the 3 books I read in January. That's literally all that I read. And now for February, I read City of Lost Souls by Cassandra Clare. Here is my little annotation, so you can see there's a lot of pink, and pink is love. So there's a lot of things that I loved, but I also have a lot of dark purples, which is anger. I had a lot of anger towards some characters in this book that was really annoying to me, especially when it came to Alec. Alec is really obnoxious in this book, and I really didn't like him too much when it came to him and Magnus together. Clary is just annoying. Clary and Jace, their whole relationship is just annoying to me, and I really love Jonathan. I really came to love Jonathan in this book. He's supposed to be evil and you're not supposed to like him, but I really like him, so just wanted to say that. I thought this story was pretty slow, but it all came together pretty good at the end, so I rated it 4 stars. Next is the Hush Hush graphic novel. So as you guys probably know, Hush Hush by Becca Fitzpatrick is my all-time favorite book series. I've loved it since middle school. It's just always been one that I really love. So I decided to pick up the graphic novel, which, if you can see, the cover looks kind of stupid. It's like this really awkwardly big buff guy and his just wings blowing everywhere. And I just wanted to say that whoever, I don't know who was the author of the drawings. It doesn't say who the author of the art is, but it's like they didn't even read the story at all, and they just decided to make the main character wear as least clothes as possible, and that makes me really angry because in the book series, Nora which is the main character, she is not provocative or anything like that, and in the book series she also has red hair and green eyes. I believe she has like freckles. She's not blonde haired. She's supposed to have like blonde hair, blue eyes, a perfect body in this graphic novel. This is supposed to be her right here. I don't know if you can see her. And I'll see, and like she's wearing basically no clothes at school, which is not realistic at all. First of all, because there's dress code. Second of all, because she's like 16 and literally like her crack is showing half the time, and like her whole stomach is showing, and it's just not realistic. Patch is wearing that stupid hat 24/7, which he doesn't wear it that much in the book series. And it follows the story, but art-wise, it's just nothing like the main characters are supposed to be. See, look, she's literally wearing nothing at school. Like, if I wore that to school, I would get expelled. And they made her main, like her best friend, she's supposed to be like thick and curvy in the book series, but in here they made her like really short hair, boyish, and big. And she's not described like that at all in the book series, and I saw a lot of people complain about that as well. So I rated this 2 stars. I feel like I should have rated it 1, but I rated it 2 because it did follow the story, and I did like the way the art looked, just not the way that the characters were perceived in the art. And I guess the second graphic novel was never published, but there's like the art for the second volume right here, and it was never published. But yeah, I rated this 2 stars. Next, I read Existence by Abby Glines. I rated this 4 stars. It's a very cliche paranormal romance where the main character can see death and she can talk to him. He follows her around and he's very interested in her for some reason, even though she's pretty boring. But it's really good. He basically becomes a human person. He shows up at her school, he's popular, he's in a band, and it goes on from there. So I rated it 4 stars because it was entertaining, not necessarily because it was an amazing story. And the last book I finished, which was a couple days ago, was Six of Crows by Leigh Bardugo, and I rated this 4 stars. It was a very slow start, and I almost put it down and did not read it because of how slow it was, but it picked up. It was really hard to learn the terminology of this fantasy world. It took me a while to understand everything, but once it started to pick up and the action started to pick up, it was really good. I love the characters. The story is mainly focused on character development and not so much the heist, and it's definitely like the entire book is based on a heist and how it is, I don't know how to word this, like it's basically meant to be a heist book, and that's how it is commercialized. Is that the word? Like, what is the word that I am looking for? It's advertised as a heist book, but the heist is like in the last third of the book, and I would just say the book is mainly focused on characters and their backstories, what they've been through, and these characters have been through some shit, so It's really good. Picked up the second book and I'm gonna read that next month. Rated it 4 stars because I really loved the characters. I loved the writing. It was just a slow start and hard to understand at times, so that's why I just rated it 4 stars instead of 5. So those were the books that I read in January and February, and I would say my favorite out of all of them is probably Six of Crows and Clockwork Prince, because those are the 2 books that I couldn't put down after I got into them. Those are probably my 2 favorite. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I really like making these videos on what I read and what I plan on reading. So if you like these, make sure to comment down below and let me know. Be sure to follow me on my social media if you guys would like to follow me. And I also have a PO box if you guys would like to send me anything. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video and I will see you guys next time. Bye.